Hey there, how's it going? It's Jess at Medusa Tarot. I hope you're doing great. Today we'll be doing an Archangel guided message. So let's just get into it and see which Archangel is sending us a message today. Spirit, Archangels, who would like to send a message today to this collective of people watching? One card, please. Oh, here we go. Azrael. Let me get my glasses on because unfortunately I cannot read without them. And Archangel Azrael is actually connected to Capricorn. So if you have Capricorn in your chart, or we all have Capricorn in our chart, but if it's important to you, this might be especially for you. I have a Capricorn moon personally, but Azrael, the release, helps to release pain, grief, and negative emotions to make way for healing and growth. And I actually think this archangel was in the last archangel reading I did, that I posted last, the week before last. Unfortunately, I was not able to post last week because both of my parents were in the hospital. So things got a little crazy here. But so right now we are focusing on releasing pain. It has a very Five of Cups energy to me. Again, the release helps to release pain, grief, and negative emotions to make way for healing and growth. So let's see what comes out. We're going to grab a planet next to see which area of life this might have to do with, or what are the actions we need to take. One card, please, Spirit and Archangels. Okay, Uranus, very interesting. So Uranus is connected to Aquarius, okay? Revolution, invention, eccentricity, okay? So the thing with Uranus is known as the great disruptor, all right? Uranus is the Fool card in the tarot. So we're being asked here to, first of all, take some steps, some brave steps forward, okay, to start a new cycle potentially. And it might be something that, people don't like, all right, that you might do some healing or make some changes in the way you've been dealing with things in your life that, kind of get people a little PO'd, and that's okay. All right. You need to focus on doing what's right for you. Um, and this might require that you take some actions that are disruptive, maybe to your own life or to other people's. Doesn't mean you have to be crazy and do anything, you know, just completely like blowing things up. But you might make some decisions that are disruptive, and that's okay, because sometimes we need that energy of Uranus in our life, to make changes, and we have to create the courage to do it. Okay. And this does, have to do with a healing process. So sometimes standing up for yourself and being rebellious is part of your healing, especially if you've been kind of submissive, or, doing things to appease other people. All right. People get used to that, and they don't like to see, people make changes and say no. All right. If you've been saying yes for a long time. So let's see what comes out. Spirit, what is the focus of this reading? Three cards, please. One more card. These cards are a little sticky because it's humid here today on my little island that I live on. It's very humid. Okay. Okay. So we are going to start here, and we start with the Five of Wands. Okay. Chaos, confusion. This is, might be something that you're currently in, or this might become a result once you start rebelling and standing up for yourself as part of your healing process. Okay, this is Saturn in Leo. All right, so it's all about, with Saturn there, creating some boundaries and some structures in your life where maybe they haven't been. All right, and again, like I was saying with Uranus, they're saying no to people. It's definitely can be disruptive to your relationships, doing what you need to do for yourself. All right, with this card here, and especially where Leo comes in, is that this is a group of people that are throwing their energy all over the place because they can. Nobody's the leader. Okay. Nobody's stepping up into that courageous lion position and taking control of the situation. And if you're watching this reading, I'm pretty certain that the person that's supposed to do that is you. All right. And that might be an uncomfortable position for you to be in, but right now, someone's going to bring some order to the chaos, and people acting in self serving ways and really draining your energy. Okay. Because this is just kind of like childish sparring back and forth with your energy. All right. And you should be using your energy to create your future, to work on your healing. Okay. Not to keep other people at bay or control. And with this card, with it being Saturn, the way to do that is to take control of the situation and put some guidelines down and tell people, well, this is how I'm going to be handling this situation from here on out. And if you don't like it, I'm not wasting any more of my energy on it. Okay. You've got to step up into that Leo energy and start being the leader of the pride here. And if you become a pride of one at the end of it, then that's fine. That's the way it's meant to be, and that's part of the healing process. A lot of us suffer from people pleasing, and we, have a hard time saying we're not going to let other people control the narrative anymore. I've got to step up and do what's right for me. It does require rebellion. Okay, that's okay. There's a healing that needs to take place place with what is wrong with me right now. There's a healing that needs to take place right now, and your energy cannot be spent trying to appease other people anymore. Okay, because here we have the Four of Wands, and this is what happens to you in your relationships when you stand up and take control. This is Venus and Aries. Okay, Four of Wands. When you choose yourself, Aries first house, okay, that first house is our relationship with ourself, okay, how we conduct ourselves, Mars energy, how we take action for ourselves, how we defend ourselves, Mars, okay. But here we're taking all of that energy and we're merging it with Venus energy. When you choose yourself, you start aligning with things that are meant for you. Okay. When you're not choosing yourself and you're letting other people control the narrative, you get completely immersed in all of their mess. Okay. When you say, this is what I need to create beauty in my life, to create Venus energy in my life, I know what it is. I'm clear on what it is. I'm going to use the Mars energy from that Aries and take action towards it. Then the things that are really meant for you now have the space to move in, now have the space to come into your life. So that's why this card is a card of synchronicity. Okay. If you stay here, nobody's in control and everybody's just wasting their energy. Okay. Egos are getting involved and there's no boundaries and there's no rules, and the rebellion is being used in a very wrong way. Okay. When you choose yourself here, that's when the beauty comes in. That's when the people that are meant to be in your life, that have your greatest and highest good in mind, that's when they enter. Okay. But you have to take the steps to create that. You have to make space for it or it can't come in. And it's not always easy to do that, as I've said multiple times already in this reading, but that's part of the challenge. That's part of the healing. That's part of the release here. Okay. You've got to make space for this beautiful Venus energy to come in, and it may be disruptive in the way that you have to do it. And here's the Knight of Wands. Here's you taking that Wands energy and running with it. okay? Getting on your horse, again, that fire energy, wands, 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 okay? It's all here. Choosing yourself, again, is going to be the healing, the release that you need. Seeing that you can see things through to the end. You can defend yourself. You don't have to be submissive. You don't have to do things that other people want you to do, but deep down in your core, you're like, this is so out of alignment with me. I don't even want to be part of this. Okay? Right here is you taking that wand, taking control of it, and becoming the warrior of your wand energy, your optimism, your passion, your creativity, your motivation, your Mars energy. Okay? Owning it. All right? And this is a card of Sagittarius. All right? Being explorative, taking risks, having fun. Okay? This is being able to have fun again. All right? So I don't know what's going on for everybody. It will be different. This is a collective reading, but with that statement just coming to my mind, whatever's been going on with this chaos probably has been sucking the fun out of life quite a bit. Okay? So we want to think about it. And all of the fire energies have shown up. We have Leo, we have Aries, and we have Sagittarius here. Okay? I don't know if that's relevant or not, but I just noticed it. During the process, okay, while you're going through this and learning how to stand up for yourself, ask Archangel Azrael for help. Helps you release the pain, helps you release the grief, negative emotions, makes way for healing and growth. You've got to let go of expectations of other people and other people wanting to get their way all the time. Okay? It's not allowing you to have space to create the beauty in your life and the relationships that you want in your life. They don't have room to come in when your energy is being drained by all these other people that are creating chaos. Okay? So let's see here. What are the challenges, Spirit? And just quickly, the crystals I have out today, we have sugilite, okay, purple ray, third eye stone, very powerful, connected to Archangel Michael. We have seraphonite, big angel energy, heart chakra healing if you need it. But this really is an angelic energy. Okay, so if you want to work with Archangel Azrael or any of the archangels, it's great to have a seraphonite palm stone because they're very in alignment with that energy. And here we have, this is a chrysocolla with a little bit of ahoite in it. Ahoite is another angelic energy. Chrysocolla is very connected to the heart chakra and that higher heart chakra. Beautiful energy. And as always, I have my phenakite here. Again, probably one of the highest vibrational crystals you can use. Powerhouse, working with spirit and angels and the divine and all of those energies. Okay, back to our reading. So, what are the challenges? 3 cards, please. One more card, please. Oh, all right. Well, we got 2 there, and I'll keep them. So we'll just do the last card as 2 cards. Okay. Challenges. Ace of Pentacles. So first of all, with this card as a challenge, what's coming to me immediately is having faith that everything will stay safe and secure and grounded through this process. Okay. There may be some attachment to somebody here that's part of this chaos that is providing resources for you, whether it be a job or a relationship or a family member. Okay. And there may be some fear that we may not have that moving forward if we disrupt what's been going on in this 5 of Wands energy. Okay. Well, with this card being here, it's absolutely a confirmation that is not something that you need to worry about because its presence says to me that Spirit saying, even though you have a fear of it, we are going to provide for you. We are going to make sure that you have what you need through this process. Okay? So the challenge is going to be really connecting to that faith that they have your back, that they're going to help keep you grounded, help keep you on course so you move forward no matter what. You look at you know, the things that need to be done on a daily basis, you get them done, you set up a plan, and you see it through to the end. Okay? Spirit's here, Archangel Azrael, Capricorn energy, Pentacles energy is here to keep you on course. You just have to ask for help. Okay? So keep your faith, keep your belief that even though something's uncomfortable, even though something feels like disruptive, okay, just because it's disrupting your life for a moment in time doesn't mean that that's a long-term effect. Sometimes we just have to move forward. That's what's required at this time. And it's going to have risks, okay? But we need to do it anyway because it's what's best for us. And here we have the Chariot, speaking of moving forward anyway, okay? Challenge. So, and again, this is a card of Cancer, which connects it to the moon. And so there's a lot of emotional attachment here with this card, all right? But this is getting to that connection between the solar plexus and the third eye, okay? That masculine intuition and that feminine intuition, all right? Trusting that gut intuition. Also, with that solar plexus, creating that strong relationship with ourselves and our motivation and our drive to move forward no matter what. Okay? We have to believe in ourselves. Okay? First of all, with that solar plexus, we have to believe that we can step into this vehicle and propel ourselves forward, that our will is unstoppable, that our intuition and that third eye, our feminine intuition, will guide us forward and nurture us and help us heal on that journey. Okay? This person reaches their victory because they're unstoppable in their will, in their masculine energy, and their connection to both intuition centers, that solar plexus and that third eye, is unbreakable. They know what they need to do for themselves. They know that if they keep moving forward and stay motivated on their path to their goals, that they will be victorious. Again, like I said, back with that Knight of Wands, nothing will stop you. Okay? So you have to believe in yourself here, and we have to have that strong relationship with ourselves. Understand that we are resilient and we are unstoppable, and we're in control of this vehicle that we're on, this spiritual vehicle, and where we're going in this life. It's not up to anybody else what we want to do on our chariot. It's up to you to trust that when you step in your chariot, you are in full control of it and nothing will stop you. And you're grounded and you're supported by spirit and you will be safe. Okay? And here we have two cards that are just confirming what these two cards are saying. Five of Pentacles, Six of Swords. So here's the chariot energy, and here's that concern about that pentacle. Okay? Five of Pentacles. All right? So with the Five of Pentacles here, this is actually Mercury in Taurus. And what does that mean? That we have to have a conversation with ourselves about this fear of lack. Okay? We have to not let fear run the show and keep us in situations that are not good for us, that are not grounding us, that are not providing for us. Because sometimes we do that, right? We stay with what we know because it feels safer than the unknown, and our mind convinces us to do that. All right? And also, if you're having any conversations with these people in this Five of Wands energy, we want to remember that just because they say we can't do something on our own, or we're not capable, or we'll fail, that doesn't have any power to it unless you give it power. All right? So if you need to walk away from something and you need to move forward, don't let what somebody else has said about you convince you that you don't have full control of your chariot. You do. Okay. But we also talk ourselves out of moving forward and doing what we need to do, getting in our boat of our Six of Swords, which is another card of Mercury, Mercury in Aquarius. Okay. We don't move forward because in our minds, we're convincing ourselves of all these horrible outcomes when all this time we're being protected. Okay. So fear of lack, fear of abandonment, fear of resources not coming in, feeling ungrounded. Okay. And here we have, and we're convincing ourselves of that with that Mercury. That's the inner dialogue we're having. And here with the Six of Swords, okay, we have a lesson here about what we need to pack with us if we want to move forward. Okay. We only take with us the beliefs, the inner conversations, the conversations with other people, the memories that help us move forward on this boat. Because if you try to take everything with you, this boat is not going to move. This boat is going to sink. Okay. You need to clear things into a little bit of logic, that swords energy, that king of swords. We need to step into logic and look for the truth. Okay. Find our integrity for ourselves. Okay. And not let people convince us of things we know are not true. And move out of this situation into a calmer emotional state. Okay. Because here we have all of these choppy waters and here we have all of these chaotic energies around us. Got to clear that mind, clear the clutter, clear the beliefs, and move forward. Allow ourselves the grace of moving into something that is more stable, okay? Brings us emotional stability and brings clarity to that mind, all right? These are the challenges. These are the things we need to do. Okay. Spirit, 3 cards. What's the advice? One more card, please. Amazing. Okay, we're going to start here. I love this so much. We're going to start here with the Hanged Man. Okay, and the Hanged Man is Neptune. All right. So we need to change the way we're thinking about things, right? We need to change our perspective. We need to change our um, um, belief systems. Okay. We need to ground that mind. All right. From this fear. Okay. And carrying too much in our heads and allowing people to control the narrative. All right. We need to ground from that emotional state of Pisces where we can sometimes have delusions or be easily swayed and, taken over emotionally by other people and what they want us to do. Here we need to ground that Pisces energy and Virgo energy, ground that mind and become more of an analytical type of thinker and not an emotional type of thinker. And when we can remove that thought process from emotional thinking and calm ourselves down, okay, we allow ourselves to start to see things with clarity and see things with logic and see things in their truth. The delusions of Neptune are no longer controlling us. Okay. That's when that big perspective shift comes in, because when you can now start seeing things with a grounded mind, you can start to see the solutions. You can start to see the truth of people and situations and the truth of yourself. Okay. Because we have to acknowledge when we're contributing to our own mistreatment, we're allowing people to take advantage of us because, we don't have that sense of self in order. All right. We do contribute to our own hurt and pain, So sometimes acknowledging that we're playing a part in it and taking ownership of that is a huge step in our healing. Okay. So here we have this shift of perception, which enlightens us. Okay. It's an aha moment. It allows us to see things for what they are And then it allows us to take a moment to figure out what we need to do to heal that and how we move forward. Game changer, okay? Taking us out of that delusion of Neptune and Pisces and putting us into grounded earth energy, especially when we've been in a difficult emotional situation. All right. Here we have these two. We're just going to take both of them at once because the advice from Spirit here is, please, for the love of God, take the wand, okay? Master your wand. They're giving you this gift, this Ace of Wands. They're giving you this gift, and they're like, you can do anything you want with your life. Your life is your creation, okay? We want to see you grow. Look at all these beautiful maple leaves growing here with this wand, okay? We want you to have fun. We want you to live in your passion. We want you to feel optimistic, okay? Not drained, okay? You've got to, again, have faith that this pentacle is here for you, that this wand is here for you, that on the other side of this, if you take these steps, if you find your courage in that Leo energy, that nothing but optimism and passion and creativity and excitement are on the other side of it, okay? This is another confirmation that Spirit has your back, okay? And here you are with your wand, King of Wands, mastering your wand's energy, standing up for it, okay? Stepping into that masculine energy and protecting your energy at all costs. You're not going to give it away to people. That's the advice from Spirit. We're giving you all of this beautiful wand's energy, allowing you to go from the Knight of Wands to the King of Wands, okay? Having this Ace of Wands, this blessed gift, the Ace of Wands, a blessed gift. You've got to master it here. They're going to help you. They're going to guide you through the process. Archangel Azrael is here for you through this healing process, okay? But you've got to believe it. You've got to step into this emotional, energetic maturity of this King of Wands and stand up for yourself and use your energy for your growth. Use your energy for your wisdom. Use your energy for your fun, your passion, all these wonderful things. Okay? That's what's here for you, but you have to believe it. Okay? That's the advice from Spirit. We want to calm that mind. We want to get grounded in our mind, grounded in our emotions, see things from a different perspective, becomes life changing. Okay? We want to accept this gift and we want to learn how to master it here. Okay? Spirit, if we can acknowledge the healing here, work on our challenges, and follow your advice, what is the potential outcome for us? 3 cards, please. One more card, please. Okay. Okay. Amazing. And there's 2 cards here to me that are like sister cards. And I'm just going to take them both at once. Okay. So we have the 5 of Swords and we have the 7 of Swords. And here's where this is most important. Okay. So 7 of Swords, this person's holding this 5 of Swords. Okay. So we're just going to keep that in mind. There's 2 swords here. And the 5 of Swords, this person's holding that 2 of Swords that's left there. Okay. So, this person's holding 3 swords. I'm sorry. And there's 2 on the ground. So the 2 swords are here and there's 2 swords here. All right. So we have 5 of Swords. This card here is Venus and Aquarius. So we have the 6 of Swords, the 5 of Swords, and the 7 of Swords. Very interesting. Okay. So this is Venus and Aquarius. All right. And this is a lesson. And this is what you're going to get. This is very important. When we don't take control of our communications, of our thought processes, of our perceptions. We let other people control the narrative. All right. The Three of Swords is Saturn in Libra. So this clearly has to do with our relationships. The Two of Swords is the moon in Libra, which is the moon in Libra. Okay. Another card of Libra, our relationships. All right. When we don't set boundaries in our relationships, we can't see clearly in our relationships. That moon energy is distorted. Okay. So we need to structure our relationships properly here with this Three of Swords, Saturn and Libra. We need to structure our relationships properly, and we need to have boundaries with people. With this here as the potential outcome, it tells me you have a big turnaround because other people aren't controlling the narrative anymore. You're stepping up and not allowing this. Okay. When this is happening, Venus cannot come into your relationships. They're too toxic. Okay. Somebody else is taking control of things. And these two people here, they don't even look like they're defending themselves. They're not even fighting back. They're just letting it happen. No more of that. Okay. You're going to stand up for yourself in your relationships, and you're going to use clarity. Okay. You're going to use your integrity, and you're going to start setting the boundaries that need to be there in order for Libra energy. Even though this is a card of Aquarius, Libra is all over this card. Okay. You're going to start taking the control in your relationships so that Venus can come into them. All right. And with these two cards of Aquarius here, very interesting. Uranus. Okay. You might have to disrupt. Uranus rules Aquarius. Okay. You might have to be a great disruptor in your life. And that's okay. You need to do what you need to do. You need to do what's good for you. Okay. So, first potential outcome, getting control of your relationships and no more letting other people control the narrative. All right. And here, the Seven of Swords, that's the moon in Aquarius. All right. This Five of Swords, right here, they're holding it. That's the communication and the beliefs of your relationships. And again, the moon in Libra, Two of Swords. You can't see clearly when people are not being upfront. So the potential outcome is these people that are trying to kind of keep you in a state of confusion and chaos over here, you're going to start seeing clearly that they don't have your best intentions. Okay. They don't have your best intentions in mind. Okay. They're out for themselves. All right. And you're going to start seeing this, and you're going to stop letting it happen to you. Okay. And that's part of what I was saying here when we have to kind of be accountable for, playing a part in things. We all have moments in life and relationships that, we know might not be good for us, or we don't look at the red flags. At a certain point, hopefully, if we're lucky, we get pushed to having to make some big decisions and cut some people out, or having a big redo in how those relationships work. Okay, here it is. No more being gaslit, because these two cards together are people that are very narcissistic and very much into gaslighting, pulling the wool over your eye, keeping you in a state of confusion so you can't think clearly. That's where that moon in Libra, the Two of Swords, is part of both of these cards. Okay. You're emotionally drained in your relationships and you can't see what's going on. All right. That's going to be cut out of your relationships moving forward. All right. Complete clarity. That swords energy is going to start working for you. So you can start focusing on the beauty life has to offer you. Okay. And here we have the Seven of Cups, Venus in Scorpio. Okay. The other thing, and I love this clarity, that's going to happen here is this, and it's part of your transformation. We know that because this is a card of Scorpio. You're going to stop being fooled by lip service, or, a nice gift, or a nice gesture, or things that are there to make you look at the silly monkey so you don't see what's really happening in front of you. You're getting control over all of this. Okay. With this card, we have those confusions in front of us and it makes it hard to make decisions. So we might give more emphasis to a shiny thing or choose the thing that looks most enticing on the outside. But this card always asks us the question, is this Venus on the outside and the inside? Or is it just Venus on the outside? And when you get into the interior of that person or that thing or that gesture, there's no Venus in it. Venus in Aquarius. That's what you're getting. You're not getting Venus on the inside. You're just getting Venus on the outside. Okay? We need to really understand that things may not look as shiny and bright and glittery on the outside, but they might certainly be Venus on the inside. Okay? And we want to start paying attention to where we might be shallow in our choices and we pay the price for it. Okay? And not shallow in a way that I'm saying that, in a bad way, but not wanting to see the truth and just going with things that our higher self is telling us this isn't right. Okay? It's not Venus on the inside. Pay attention to your choices, and that's what this card is here for. And I think this clarity is going to come to you where you start to see that all that glitters is not gold. And I've pointed it out with this card before, and I will do it again. This card always reminds me of, I think it was Raiders of the Lost Ark, like one of those movies where um, they asked the group of people which chalice they thought belonged to Jesus, and everyone kept picking the one that was the most ornate. And finally, I think the main character said, no, it's the wooden chalice. Jesus was a carpenter. Okay? So if you look at the energy of somebody like Jesus, Venus on the inside, okay, but had the most simple wooden chalice. Okay? We have to pay attention to that in life and make sure that we're making choices that are wise for us and we're not making them with some of the negative aspects of Venus, the negative qualities of Venus. Okay? All right. You're going to gain control of that, though. You're going to become aware of that and you're going to start making better choices. You're not going to be easily influenced or gaslit by people anymore. You're going to see through it. All right? And here, you're going to change the way that you allow your perceptions and communications and conflicts with people control you. All right? So Venus can come into your life in the right ways. All right. We're going to grab an oracle card. This is the Blue Angel Oracle, and this is an Archangel Michael guided oracle. Okay. One card, please, Spirit. What's the last message you have for us to close this reading? This is a huge, huge change. So, I mean, it's a lot to unfold and it's a lot to go through, but be patient with yourself. And again, stay grounded and ask Archangel Azrael to help you with the pain and grief of potentially having to, leave some relationships if necessary. And they don't have to be romantic relationships. They can be friends or coworkers or relatives that are draining you right now and creating chaos in your life. And then you don't have the energy for the people in your life that want to bring that Venus energy, that true, beautiful, sincere love. All right. I'm going to take the one on the bottom. Okay. Oh, well, beautiful. We got Archangel Michael. Card 1. I love it. I haven't gotten this card in quite a while. Okay. Eternal love and protection. I am always with you, and in this moment, I embrace you with my protective blue light. I loved you before the dawn of time and will continue to love you forevermore. My love is eternal. It never changes, for we are timeless souls. Together we have journeyed through the ages. We have been the light of the sun and the grass of the fields. Millions of Earth years have passed, and yet here we are. The same light still glows in our hearts. and the same grass carpets the fields with green. You have lived countless lives, and I am always with you, for I am the sky above you and the endless love inside your heart. I am a luminous internal, I am a luminous eternal essence. I am a sky full of endless love. I am forever with you, for we are one. Amazing. So that's again another confirmation. We have Archangel Azrael. We have this Ace of Pentacles. We have this Ace of Wands. I'm telling you right now, Spirit has your back on this. These archangels are here to help you. You are totally being supported through this process. Okay. That is our reading. Thank you so much for being here. If it resonated with you, I'm new. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, liking, commenting, any of those things. Also, I will not be posting next week. I am a makeup artist, as I've told you guys before. I have a huge celebrity event going on, and I am in charge of all the hair and makeup services for their celebrity athletes and non-athlete celebrities. And I will not be in the mind in the state of mind to be reading tarot because I just have a lot to organize. So I will be back after that. I hope you guys have a great couple of weeks, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.